it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. Today we are going to be embarking on the journey of reorganizing my bookshelves. As you can see behind me, they are a mess. This room is a mess. I recently moved and this is the second bedroom, and it's going to be partly my filming space and also just like office workspace and also the storage for all of my books. I'm armed with a coffee to get me through this, but I did tidy up a little bit on the floor to move some random things away, and then I've also got piled some books that like need to be put on the shelves as well. So to start, I have these 3 bookshelves behind me that cover this entire back wall. On this side is my closet, which is like massive. It takes up the whole side of the room, so I can't actually put anything in front of that. On this side I have the windows that face the balcony, so again I can't really cover them up. And then on this side it means the door to the room, and then in this corner there's a patch of wall that is free that can technically fit 1 bookshelf, which I have here, and this is the 4th bookshelf that I brought from my old place. But recently I've been on this train where I just really don't want to have so many physical books. Moving is always such a struggle with so many books, but I'm also just starting to realize that I'm getting way less precious with my books these days. When I was a kid and a teen and even up to like a year ago, I really did love all of my books, my physical books, and wanted to keep them around me, and also loved like special editions and whatever else. And I like the idea of having like a collection of books. Always had the dream that maybe I'll have like a full library room in my home one day, and maybe that'll still happen, and in that case I think I'd be fine with a bunch of physical books. But at this moment I am in a tiny Toronto apartment and I want to maximize my space. Before I moved, I actually unhauled a shit ton of books. A lot of them were sort of the YAs that I used to read and love, but that I know I'll never actually pick up again, and so I decided to just get rid of them, like pass them on to someone else. I've either donated or sold books, and actually on that point I do have a small bookshelf in the bedroom where I have stored all of the books that I hope to sell. I've been selling some books on Facebook Marketplace just because I paid a lot for some of these and I feel like I should try to recoup some of the cost. And I've also just become obsessed with like selling things on Facebook Marketplace and buying things on Facebook Marketplace, like getting things sort of used or secondhand rather than buying something new. It's both cheaper and more eco-friendly because we are consuming less. So that's kind of my vibe this year, or for the rest of the year, that I want to consume less, that I want to have less things. Not necessarily be a minimalist. I still love the idea of maximalism and making things fun and pretty, but I do just want to have more of a collection that reflects my reading now and what I love now. So this video isn't an unhaul, but there may be a case where I decide to unhaul some of the books that I am reorganizing as I go through them. Since I am cutting down my collection, I actually don't need the 4th bookshelf. So I'm kind of on the fence right now on whether I want to sell it or keep it, because I could use that space for a desk instead, or I use it as the dedicated shelf for my entire TBR. And when I say that, I mean my physical TBR, the books that I still haven't read, because there's a ton of books behind me that I've read and loved, but there's a bunch that I have not, and I really want to get through all of my physical TBR, both for my satisfaction and also to know that these books aren't going to waste and just like sitting on my shelves for no reason. So yeah, that's the current plan. I'm gonna set up my lighting and tidy up the floor and then start reorganizing. I think the way I'm gonna organize them is by genre and then by author and like by series and stuff like that. That's generally the way I like to organize my books because it just makes the most sense and it's the easiest way to find a book, and it also makes it easy for when I do want to read a book off my physical TBR and I can just go to like the genre that I want to read from. Though I have done rainbow bookshelves before and I did really like it. It was like a nice background in my videos, but it was a little annoying to find books, and it was also just super annoying to like set up the rainbow. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but we'll see. Okay, so the shelf has been built, or put together rather, and now I'm thinking that I'm just gonna pull all of the books that I need to read onto the shelf to start, and then we can organize the rest based off of what's left. I just want to start here because I have a bunch of books on my floor that I need to read, and that could go on this shelf. And then I'm thinking of organizing this TBR shelf based off of, I guess, what I want to read next. I also may use this shelf for some storage at the bottom, so that might also be a consideration. already have a bajillion books and I've only gone through one shelf. This is gonna be a problem. Interesting little find. I did some research for Answers in Progress, which is this huge YouTube channel, and they were doing a video on like books and reading. And in the video, they created this bookmark. I don't know if you can see that, which essentially lets you like track the book and like what days you read it and all of that on the bookmark. I have a few of these and I haven't used them yet, so I definitely want to, but you can also purchase them, I believe, on their Shopify site. Alrighty, this is the state of the first bookcase after taking out all the books that I haven't read, which is a lot, unfortunately. All right, shelf number 2 has been ransacked. This one was also equally bad, but there were more books that I had actually read. Here's another progress update. These are all the stacks of books that I've pulled out, and this is the TBR shelf so far. Yes, I'm not gonna sell it because, or I may sell it because once I'm done taking all of these books off of the 3 shelves, and I consolidate them together, I'm probably gonna have like one shelf that's like completely empty, I feel like. So then, in which case, I would just move all those books from the TBR shelf to like one of these, and then I can still sell the other one. I haven't decided. Okay, progress update. This is the 3rd shelf after having been ransacked. This one also has more finished books on it, but still pretty sad. Okay, so we're about an hour into this process. I have ransacked all 3 shelves and there are way too many books now on my floor ready to be put on the TBR shelf, but I don't think it's gonna actually fit all of them, but I really don't want to split it across 2 shelves. However, with these books, I do feel like they're gonna fit. They're gonna fit on like 2 shelves max. So maybe I have 2 TBR shelves and 2 shelves of books that I've read. I don't know. I'm feeling very indecisive right now, so this is gonna be a struggle. Another thought that I had was that the reason there's so little books that I've read versus ones that I haven't read is because I didn't actually bring a lot of the books that I have read with me to the new apartment. I either donated them, I left them at my parents' place, whatever it was. So of course there's gonna be less of the ones that I read. I'm like really hungry and tired now, so maybe I'll grab food and take a break and come back to this. We'll see. Alrighty, it's a bit later. I had some food, I have another cup of coffee, and we are gonna get to organizing. I think the way I'm gonna tackle this is starting with the shelf on the far left and try to organize it based off of genre, but I also think I'm gonna put like my YA books closer to the bottom because I usually don't pick them up or pull them out all that often. But I am really curious to see how many books I can fit on like 1 or 2 shelves, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, let us try this. Da-na-na. Na-na-na. None of these are going here. They are going to move. I feel that I should put my classics up here because that's what I usually do. Really questioning all my life choices up to this point for me to have this many books. Pride and Prejudice. This is not a classic. Why am I dumb? I have too many Shakespeare books. Okay. Oh, I have multiple copies of JEN-nuh-nee. As I organize this, let's chit chat about some of my favorite classics. Jane Austen is definitely a favorite, as is Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte. Okay, I feel like this is a good spot for a lot of hardcovers, but I want to put important ones here. Question is, what do I define as important? Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Okay. Perhaps I should split fantasy and contemporary. Definitely gonna split out romance, I think. And I think romance can go up here. Yes. Oh my god, recent romance I absolutely loved. How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. Absolutely amazing. And just so heartbreaking, but also like so well written. The tension, the smut, all of it. Huzzah. I feel kind of good about this. I want to put these somewhere here, but I don't know where. Okay, this is gonna work for me for now. I'm gonna take these downtown. I still have yet to finish this, even though I started it and it was going really well, but here we are. I need other big white hardcovers. Oh my god, I'm gonna drop this. I'm so gonna drop this. Oh! I'm starting to realize that I probably should have like grouped everything first and then started putting them on the shelves. But as always, here we are. So I have a bunch of YA fantasies down here, and I have some more here and some sci-fis, but I also have some contemporary here. But I think those should probably move over here, and then I can put the rest of the YA fantasies here. Why are these? These are not supposed to be here. Okay. Alright, let's do a progress update. So I have a bunch of classics up there, and actually I think I want to make these into 2 shelves perhaps, or connect it over here. And then I've got lit fic here and historical fiction. I've got fantasies, more fantasies, YA fantasies, more YA fantasies, and then I've got the YA contemporaries here and like other random books. Then over here I have thrillers or like cozy mysteries. I've got a bunch of romance here, and I was going to put more romance there, but I think I might like shift everything down so I can put more classics there. I was just putting down my Ali Hazelwood books, and I realized I don't have her newest one, Not in Love, which is probably my favorite Ali Hazelwood. So that's definitely on the list to grab sometime soon.
There's no segment in your video where like my boyfriend helps me out?
Oh, you can come help. All right, folks, I was right in thinking that the books I've read would not even fill up 2 full bookcases. So I still have 1 empty shelf here, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Because obviously I can make this last one my TBR shelf, but then I've also still got the other one, and I feel like I'll probably need both to fit all of these books down here. Okay. All right, so plan is to put the books that I don't think I'm gonna read soon over here, and the ones that I want to read very soon over there. Let's see how it goes. Alrighty folks, progress report. I opened the curtain over here, which brought in so much more light. And why didn't I do that earlier? I have filled basically all of this shelf, and I was like close to maybe fitting everything there, but then I was like, it's gonna be too tight, and I'll still need one extra shelf, which I could have used the one down there, but I also want to leave enough room if I want to add one of the ones that I've not read to the red pile. And then I also managed to fill 3 shelves, or 2.5, on this side. And I think the way I've categorized it is the ones here are the ones that I want to get to very soon, that I have an upcoming video idea for, that kind of thing. And then all of these ones are ones that I am going to read at some point, but I just haven't decided when. So here's a close-up of this shelf here for you, so you can see everything. It's like romances and then spooky books, historical and literary fiction, thrillers, fantasy, and others. And then up here I've got some like classics and stuff, which I want to do a classics video at some point. And then I've got some lit fic and a little bit of fantasy and sci-fi. And then I've got like dark academia and spooky books and more fantasy, which I definitely want to get to soon. Honestly, it's not looking too bad. I'm quite proud of this. Now I'm gonna just fill these bottom shelves on the shelf on this side with just the random crap that I have lying around in the room. Alrighty folks, after 4 hours of reorganizing, I am finally done. I feel pretty happy with this setup because, you know, I have all my read books on one side and all of my unread books on the other, and it's a little bit more clear what I need to read. And I've also been able to group some of the books based off some videos that I want to do, and overall I was able to tidy up the room in a pretty satisfying way. Because I know a bunch of you are going to ask, the number of unread books that I have on my TBR, on my physical shelves, is 222 books. That is an absolutely bonkers number of books. I probably read about 100 books a year, so it's gonna take me at least a couple years or more to get through all these books. And in the meantime, I'm sure I'll get more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below how many unread physical books you have on your TBR, and let me know how big your collections are and how you organize your books. I would love to hear and chat down below. And as always, if you haven't already, go check out my Instagram, Goodreads, TikTok, and Bindery community down below. I will see you guys in my next video, and please remember that this story ain't over. Bye.